What's up YouTube, this is your boy Nick here, and today I'm going to reveal the results from WWE's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event, Raw's exclusive pay-per-view, presented by WWE 2K17, available now at a retailer near you. And also we would like to send out a special thanks to AIRBOURNE for the official Hell in a Cell theme song called Breaking Out of Hell off the album Breaking Out of Hell, available now on iTunes and Spotify. Alright guys, we're going to kick things off with the kickoff show. It was a 6-man cruiserweight tag team match as Cedric Alexander teamed up with Sin Cara and Lince Dorado against the team of Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Ariya Daivari. Now this match was quite intense, but in the end, Cedric Alexander pinned, I believe he pinned Ariya Daivari to gain the victory for his team. Alright guys, from there we move on to the United States title, which was the first of 3 main events we had on the card, as Roman Reigns defended the United States Championship against Rusev. Now, the match was amazing. Seeing Roman Reigns being inside Hell in a Cell is, for a lot of fans, it's awesome. The match ended with Roman Reigns hitting Rusev with a vicious spear, and he gains the pinfall victory to retain the United States Championship. Alright guys, from there we move on to the first of 2 women's division matches. The first one was Bayley against Dana Brooke. Now Dana Brooke had a problem with Bayley. You know, she thinks that thought that Bayley was all fun and games and stuff. And so this match had to take place. The match ended with Bayley hitting Dana Brooke with the Bayley to belly, and she got the pinfall victory. Of course, during the Hell in a Cell kickoff show, Bayley mentioned the Raw Women's Championship, and she said that whoever wins is who she's going after for the Raw Women's Championship. Alright guys, now we move on to a tag team match between Enzo and Cass against Gallows and Anderson, known as the Club. The match ended with Anderson and Gallows hitting the Magic Killer on, I believe, Enzo, and they got the pinfall victory. Alright guys, now we move on to our second main event. We move on to the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell, as Kevin Owens defended against Seth Rollins. Now the match was controversial, because the match ended with Jericho coming into the cell, helping Kevin Owens retain the Universal Championship with a power bomb onto 2 chairs that were connected together. The way Jericho entered the cell was Kevin Owens had a fire extinguisher in his hand, and he accidentally hit the referee with the fire extinguisher. So when they opened the cell door, Jericho instantly came in and he locked the door. So that way it would be 2-on-1. Alright guys, from there we move on to the Cruiserweight title, as TJ Perkins defended the Cruiserweight Championship against the Brian Kendrick. Now, as we saw on Raw last week, Brian Kendrick told TJ Perkins that he needed this win. He wanted TJ Perkins to just let him win. And knowing T.J. Perkins, we all knew that he wasn't gonna just lie it down and just let Kendrick win. So the match was back and forth. First, of course, Brian Kendrick had applied the captain's hook the first time, and Perkins broke the hold, and then came the knee bar by T.J. Perkins onto Brian Kendrick, and we thought that Brian Kendrick was actually hurt, like his knee was hurting really bad due to the knee bar. So Perkins tried to help him up, and Brian Kendrick suckered him in, hit him with a headbutt, and then applied the captain's hook again. He applied it so bad that Perkins had no choice but to tap out. So therefore, our new WWE Cruiserweight Champion is the Brian Kendrick. Alright guys, from there we move on to the Raw Tag Team titles as the New Day defended against the unlikely duo of Sheamus and Cesaro. Of course, normally in a tag team match, it would be Kofi Kingston and Big E, but this time it was Xavier Woods and Big E. So the match was mainly all Sheamus and Cesaro because of how well they were teaming up against the New Day. In the end, as they were about to win, Kofi Kingston came in and hit Sheamus with Trouble in Paradise, which led to a disqualification. So therefore, the winners of the match was by disqualification, Sheamus and Cesaro. However, in a title match, it can only be won by pinfall submission, champion's advantage. So therefore, still the Raw Tag Team Champions is the New Day. Alright guys, from there, now we move on to our main event. It was a women's division match for the Raw Women's Championship as Sasha Banks defended against Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell. Now this is the first time ever we have ever seen women inside Hell in a Cell. So the way the match started was this. As the cell was coming down, Charlotte and Sasha Banks were looking up at the cell as it was coming down. As soon as it was about to hit, the cell was about to hit the floor, Charlotte attacked Sasha Banks, which then led to the officials stopping the descent of the structure. So when the referee and the two women were out of the cell just still came down. And so Sasha Banks was put through the announce table, and she was about to be on a stretcher. And when she heard the ring announcer JoJo that Charlotte was going to be the new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks literally left the stretcher and went inside the cell. That led to a huge war. There was weapons, like there were steel chairs, tables, of course the steps, and the cell itself. So there was a lot of tension between the two. There was a lot of trash talking and all that. And so the match ended. The closing moments of the match, Sasha Banks had a table set up on the turnbuckle, and so she was about to do a Seth Rollins like power bomb onto the table on Charlotte. But Sasha's back gave out, so that led to Charlotte attacking her, putting her on, like throwing her on the table and stuff, which led to natural selection. Her signature move, natural selection. Sorry, and therefore your winner and a three-time Raw Women's Champion Charlotte. From what I understand, I think Sasha Banks will not be attending Raw tonight, but she might. I don't know. Because of how bad the match was. But we will see. We will see what happens on Raw tonight. Alright, well that is it for the Hell in a Cell results. If you enjoyed this video, please post, comment below, like and subscribe for more. And be sure to follow me on Twitter for everything WWE and everything Yu-Gi-Oh! At WWE_Minister for rumors, match card updates, news, and more. And also at Yu-Gi-Oh! Player 96 for future openings, deck profiles, binder updates, news, and more. I'll put links in the description below so you can check me out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the WWE Network, because if you do, you'll get all of November for free, including WWE Survivor Series, which will be on Sunday, November 20th, live on pay-per-view and the WWE Network, where we will have 4 main events. The first one will be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar in a match that's 12 years in the making. And then, of course, we have the traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 matches. We got one for the men, one for the women, and one for the tag teams. So do subscribe to the network. And on that, this is your boy Nick here, signing off, and happy Halloween, everybody.